My ex broke my heart, so I broke him. I 28F. Dated a guy for almost 3 years. To make it easy to understand, I'll refer to my ex as Sam, 28M. It was a long-distance relationship. I am from the West Coast, and he's from the East Coast. We met through a dating app, and we hit it right off. The first few months was great. We had so much in common, and to me, it really seemed like this relationship was going to be serious. He was my first boyfriend. I held off on dating to focus on my studies and my career. He supported me throughout my master's and my career development, and I helped him through major life changes that he was going through. I had always wanted a first and last relationship. I thought I had hit the jackpot with this guy. I travel a lot for my job. The company sends me out to different states to attend conferences, conduct training, etc., and most of these conferences are held in Sam's hometown. Even though it was a long-distance relationship, we would see each other more often because of the convenience of my job. I would stay in his apartment whenever I was there, and he would also fly to my hometown and stay at my apartment for weeks at a time. Everything was great until after our first anniversary, he started to become distant. During this time, I hadn't been able to fly down to his hometown because I was busy with training in our office. I never made him feel like he was less of a priority, and I would always text him throughout the day. Lover we were together, I basically did what I thought a good girlfriend should do. I've never had experience, so I just did what I thought was right, like giving him attention, making him feel seen and heard, being patient with him, allowing him to go out with his friends whenever he wanted to. I really thought I was doing good for my first relationship, until he asked for a break. I admit I did beg and cry when he asked for it, but ultimately I couldn't do anything and decided to accept it and move on. I was heartbroken, but I poured my attention to my job and eventually got promoted. 2 months passed and Sam reached out to me with a really long message and he was apologizing for the sudden breakup without an explanation, and he explained why he had to do it, and that he loved me, and he knew that he was wrong, but if I wasn't willing to give him a second chance, then he would just settle for us being friends because he said I was a great person and a great friend. My trust was ruined at this point, but I wasn't really mad at him, and I admit that I still loved him. So we decided on starting all over again, but as friends. To make it short, we ended up dating again after 5 months. I really thought this was like his redemption arc, and he'd be more attentive and loving towards me, and he was. For like 3 months, and then he started being distant again. I slowly noticed a pattern with his actions. I asked a close friend of mine for some advice, and she told me that Sam was breadcrumbing me. He would give me attention and love, and then suddenly stop, so I would start to beg for more. After our second anniversary, we still kept our old anniversary date and celebrated that as our anniversary. He suddenly ghosted me. No message, no nothing. I was blocked on everything. I couldn't call or text his number. Meister. This time I wasn't as heartbroken. Instead, I was contemplating what the heck this man was trying to do to me. He was toying with my emotions when all I had given him was genuine love. It started to piss me off, but again I didn't want to do anything about it and just moved on. 3 months go by and Sam was back in my DMs, this time with a different message. He wasn't asking for another chance or anything. He was just explaining why he had done it. And it was all half-assed explanations. He was leaving his old job and he got busy with a new job, and he didn't have time for me, so he thought he'd get everything done before he would fly down to my hometown and reconcile. He asked if he could come and visit me and we can talk it all out. During this time, I had found out that during the time we were together, he was cheating on me, and apparently it didn't work out with that girl, so he came back to me. He had done this in the past as well. All of this was confirmed by a friend I had who moved to his hometown, who became my source of intel. This is when I felt a switch turn on in my head. I knew what he was doing, and instead of turning him down and just move on, I wanted him to feel the way I felt when he did all of this to me. I told him he could come and visit me and that I'll be waiting for him. At this point, I knew he knew I was acting out of character. He asked me if I was really okay with meeting him and talking things out, and I said yes. A week passed and he actually flew down to my hometown, and he had the audacity to come to my apartment and stay with me for 3 weeks. I welcomed him with open arms nonetheless.